Hi Scorpio, this is a reading for January 2020. Thanks for tuning in. Please join me while I shuffle. Tune in with your higher self and your guides. Ask them to connect to my higher self and guides so that we can create a feedback loop to bring through messages that are relevant and tailored for you. Set aside any tasks that you may have on the go and really bring all your presence and focus to this reading. I want to make sure that you make the most out of your time with me and you don't miss any of the messages that are coming through for you. You may also want to grab some headphones so that you can really focus and tune in and get everything that's here for you. So we're going to take a look at the general energies available at this time for Scorpio. Quite a few majors in this reading, a lot of swords as well. That's been a common theme through a lot of the readings from this month. There's a lot of swords cards coming out in the readings. Okay, from the major arcana you have the Lovers in reverse as the central theme, crossed by the World in reverse. There's the Hangman, the Devil, the Hierophant, and the Sun. And as I mentioned, there's a few swords cards. So you have Ace of Swords, Three of Swords reversed, Four of Swords reversed, Seven of Swords, Eight of Swords reversed. And at the bottom of the deck, Six of Swords. Okay, Scorpio. It does feel like there's some difficult energy in this reading. There's some emotional energy to be dealing with. It feels like for some of you, there's an energy of some betrayal or disappointment. Betrayal and disappointment with regards to possibly a love partnership or a business partnership. Something didn't seem to go as it may have at one point seemed possible. So there's a little energy of sadness and almost mourning. There's a little bit of that kind of really deep sadness in this reading about something that was at once maybe really hopeful and bright and full of possibility and potential, that maybe hasn't gone in the way that you felt was possible, but rather it has kind of taken a sharp turn in possibly a dark direction. For some people, you might be dealing with a partner who's an addict or has some kind of like, if they're not like physically addicted to things, there may be some dark behavioral patterns that you have been experiencing personally because you're involved with this person. And that could be some of the energy that's in this reading that has made you turn away from them. That could be one interpretation here. And for some people with that, because you have the Devil energy here, Four of Pentacles reversed, and here's the Seven of Swords in the upright position, in the past position of this reading. So you're coming into this reading with that energy. So what I'm feeling with that is, for some people, you may be dealing with a partner who has been possibly like hiding some of their bad behavior or their shadow side. You may not have been fully aware of the extent of some of perhaps their dependencies or addictions or toxic behaviors. They may have been concealing that from you. For some of you, you might be coming to the realization that you need to let this person go. That could be what this Four of Pentacles is. Maybe you've been aware about these patterns and these behaviors for a while, and you've been giving all of the energy that you can to it. Like you've been really trying your best to work hard, to work together with this person to help solve any issues or deal with any things that come up, because there has been this really, I feel that the person that we're talking about here is someone that you may have been really deeply connected to for quite some time. We could be talking about a long-term relationship here where you've been through every possible permutation with this person, from the ups to the downs and everything in between. And there's a little bit of an energy of surrendering in this reading, to realizing that maybe you're starting to understand that it doesn't matter how much you love this person, you can't heal them. Maybe this is for some people watching in this reading on the other, like vice versa. Like that goes with all the readings here too, but it's just important to say that because I feel like it's, you need to understand that maybe you could be the person that is having the dependencies of the toxic behavior and the shadow side that you may have been trying to conceal from your partner. But there's 2 8s here on the central axis of the reading. The foundation, there's 8 of Swords in reverse, and the crowning card is 8 of Cups upright. That's telling me that what may have been hidden and concealed at one point, and the situation may have made you feel like you are kind of a little bit trapped or stuck or unsure how to move forward and not clear about how to resolve or solve this mystery or this situation in a way that can help bring it things to the light and help improve the quality of everyone's experience. And now it feels like you've come to this awareness of realizing that it's actually not really your story, and that you having this 8 of Cups here in the crowning card position of this reading is telling me that you're coming to the realization that it's time for you to walk away and let go and move forward, and with the clarity of mind, knowing that you can only commit to your own path, to your own healing, to your own adventures, to your own stories. That's not to say that it's not painful or difficult, because I do feel there's a lot of love in this reading. Hangman here in the outcome position is also saying there's this feeling here of you realizing that you may not actually be able to help or solve a problem or heal someone or fix a situation, and that the best thing that you can do is take care of your own self, of your own physical health and wellness, of your mental, emotional and spiritual wellness, and stop trying to help someone that maybe isn't ready to be helped, right? Hopes and fears, you have the Sun upright with the 3 of Swords in reverse. So that's sort of telling me that there was at one time a lot of vitality and love and passion and life and beauty in this scenario, but now there is pain and heartbreak and some toxicity that I feel like it's important to say here that, like, it may be time to accept that some things can't be mended, you know. It's also important, I think, to realize that what do I want to say there? No, all is not lost. Even though in your current state, you might be looking at the situation and feeling like this relationship didn't work out and it's a failure, or I'm a failure, but that's not actually true. That's just the way that we've been conditioned culturally and socially to think about relationships, but it's actually not real or relevant in any way. We can't measure a relationship's failure or success in quantitative terms. It's not about that. There has been a lot of growth and a lot of learning, and that's actually the success. That's the measure of success that you need to look at and view the circumstances by, and see how much you've gathered, how much you've grown, how much you've understood, how much you've realized during the course of your time together. And it just may be with this World card here as the crossing card, time to understand that the cycle is actually complete, and it's your choice now to, it's up to you to decide if you're gonna acknowledge and embody that level of understanding, of realization that there is a completion here, in that there isn't more that you can give, and there may not be more that you can receive also from this environment that you're in. 4 of Swords in reverse here with the Hierophant. That's telling me that, yeah, the 4 of Swords and the Hangman are bringing a similar energy, along with the 8 of Cups there, and even the 8 of Swords in reverse. There's an energy here about it's time to move, it's time to realize, like, it's time to wake up from maybe a hypnotic state of a confusing state, or of a state of lack of clarity, or of understanding, or of awareness about the actuality of what circumstances you're really dealing with. Because I do feel like there's something in this reading about certain behavior that has been concealed at one point that you're now actually understanding. It's being revealed, and so you may have been under an illusion for some time about who exactly you are in relationship with. And the Hierophant card here together with the 4 of Swords is telling me that this has been a very deep and profound lesson for you. There's like a spiritual growth that you've undergone as a result of the circumstances that you're in, that you would not have been able to accrue any other way, and so it's incredibly valuable, even though it may bring pain. But again, pain and joy are no measure of success or failure. They're just emotions, energy moving. Bottom of the deck, 6 of Swords. Now there's another Swords, 5 of Swords, oh my goodness, 9 of Swords, and 6 of Cups. Alright. So this is telling me that there is a desire to move on and away, but there is some, I feel like there's some, like this person or the connection with this person is really, really strong. It's a really deep and strong connection. There's something karmic and it's almost entangled. Like there's something that's a little bit too, I mean with the Devil card as well there, I feel like there's an energy of really deep bondage and attachment to this person or to the dynamic. It may not even be exactly about the person itself, but maybe the energy that they represent, or the type of the constitution or the properties of, or the modalities or the energy of that union, or the synthesis of the two energies together is what you're attached to. There's like a dependency on a certain frequency. Not necessarily from your side, but probably actually a little bit of both. But this 6 of Swords, 5 of Swords reverse, and 9 of Swords is telling me that there is a desire. You are actually looking to move on into more calmer waters, away from troubled times and difficulties. But you have inner conflict about that, and anxiety and stress and worry, because there is this feeling of obligation here. I feel that really strongly. Like there's so many swords in this reading. Ace of Swords, 3 of Swords, 4 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 6 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords. Jesus Christ. It's too much fear, it's too much anxiety. I feel that there's too much of obligation in this. What's being presented here feels like you are carrying such a heavy load that feels like too much to bear. And it part of this like devil energy that I'm feeling is this sensation that the person that you're involved with, and again this goes both ways, like this could be either person, like vice versa, it could be you, it could be the other person, it's up to you to be really honest. Like you may have some like a kind of behavioral tics that you are still as of yet unconscious of. You haven't yet brought to light your own dependencies or your own insecurities or your own, you know, judgment or self-loathing or insecurities or etc. that may make you behave in certain ways that is not as evolved as you could be, you know. And that's part of all this energy of like, there's this sort of jagged energy of like expectations and obligations and neediness and intensity that need not be there if you could actually just really address what you are experiencing. Because this is actually not a real expression of love. It's not. This is what love feels like when an individual is demanding another person provide for them what they cannot give to themselves. I feel a lack of self-love in this reading. I'm going to move on from this spread and onto the Voyager deck with the higher octave reading. I just want to check over here, but there's a lot of swords in this card, in this spread. It's difficult energy. But I feel like I covered it all, so I'm going to move on. So, with the higher octave reading, we're going to take a look at any other additional insights and clarifications that we might be able to glean. Karmic and spiritual forces at play, any blind spots we need to be aware of, and hopefully also some practical advice on how best to work with the energies that we're dealing with to make the most of the lessons that we have available. So tune in, send your energy into the deck. Let's have a look, Scorpio. There's the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. 4 of Swords, 4 of Crystals in reverse, which we have here as well, same orientation. Crossed by the Emperor in reverse. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Page of Swords. 5 of Crystals, which we have here. The Star. the World in reverse. We had that as the crossing card in the previous reading. There's the Moon in reverse, Strength, and the Chariot. Wow, all four corners of the reading have major arcana, as well as these two cards. So 6 out of the first part of the reading are major. So it's a lot of learning in this opportunity. There's a lot of learning in your current situation, like deep emotional, spiritual, karmic learning. 5 of Pentacles, Man of Wands reversed, 7 of Cups reversed, and Death. Yeah, this is some deep schooling, and it's painful, but it's bringing you closer to yourself. Like the Lovers in this spread, I feel is more about you coming closer to your own true nature and helping yourself through difficult circumstances. Here you have the potential to see exactly where you are insecure, where you are dependent, where you are addicted, where you are needy, where you are insecure, where you are lacking responsibility, where you are not showing up for yourself and placing all of those demands and expectations on someone else to care and nurture and love you because you need that, right? But you have to give that to yourself. That's what all of this is about. It's about you self-loving. Death to the old self. Death to the last endless number of karmic cycles where you've been in so much pain and agony and anguish and desperate need. This is you calling out to the universe for many lifetimes for help and support to help you awaken to your true nature. And here it is showing up for you. It's up to you to rise up to the challenge and really see what's actually there for you and own the responsibility of everything you feel, everything you're experiencing. It's yours to create. It's yours to alter. It's yours to transform. It's yours to transmute. Make it as you want it. But you've got to own everything you feel till now and stop laying the blame on other people for your emotional state. That's toxic dependent behavior. Devil. Beware of that. There's a big letting go here. There's a lot of need for letting go. There's a lot of energy in this reading that needs to go on the way out. There's like a lot of delusion. There's a lot of fantasy, but in a not in a fun imagination kind of a fantasy. This is more like your delusional state that is perpetuating mistruths about yourself and about others and about life, and it's affecting how you're able to interact and relate to people in ways that's actually just like, what's the right word? It just keeps triggering all the same pain points that you have because you're not facing real truths. You're not dealing with your own shadow. Moon here in reverse. 7 of Cups in reverse. There's a lot energy here that is pointing towards you facing your deep unconscious patterns, your belief systems, your shadow side, bringing all that to the light and helping it to release by bringing awareness to it. For some of you, there's a lot of stuff here around father issues. We have the Emperor in reverse as your crossing card. We also have the Man of Wands in reverse in this part of the reading. I feel that's relevant for some of you. There are issues here around the father, around dominant father energy, masculine energy that was unevolved and expressing in a way that was not very nurturing or loving or compassionate, and that is still affecting the way you relate to others now, even if you may be aware of it. It's still playing out in ways that is affecting your ability to be whole and clear in your vibrational output and input, if that makes sense. The World in reverse with the Death here. There's cycles to close out and things to lay end to, like cycles to close out, patterns to lay into, cycles of karma and drama that need to be burned up, transmuted, alchemized, and transformed so that you can really start to live. Because you're hiding behind so much gunk here. That's what I feel. There's a lot of mental negativity. All the swords cards, that's what it is. It's a lot of mental negativity. There's too much hateful self-talk. There's too much self-judgment. There's too much doubt and fear and insecurity and lack of self-love. It's basically that I could talk for another 20 minutes here on this reading, but basically it's the need for self-love, and that comes from working on yourself, self-care, self-nurturing. But it's easy for me to sit here and say that, but we need practical guidance on how to do that. So you need to find the ways that work for you. right? Caring for the self, being aware, meditation, exercise, eating well, breaking habits, like putting down vices that you know are hurting you. But fundamentally, like all of the self-love stuff, it's all about how you communicate to yourself. So if you're being mean and vicious and hateful towards yourself, that has to end. You have to interrupt that inner dialogue when it's going in that direction. You just have to stop it, and you have to replace it with self-loving, uplifting inner dialogue that is really genuinely nurturing and caring in the way that you would communicate to other people that you care about. You need to start communicating with yourself in that way. Lovers and love, 3 of Cups, amazing. 6 of Crystals, another Swords card, and Man of Cups reverse. Again, another King energy coming out in reverse, making me feel like affirmed that my interpretation there about father issues is something relevant here. There's definitely some family lineage things to deal with, and that's not just, like, I'm not that person that's gonna, like, I mean, I believe that healing can be miraculous and it can be instantaneous if the conditions are ripe and you are in alignment with that timing. And I feel that's possible here, actually, in this spread, in this energy. Like, there is, I feel in your energy, because you have the Chariot here in the outcome along with the Star and Strength, like all these cards, these major arcana cards, even the Lovers here, these are all telling me that you are so ready to be done with that old you. Like, you're fighting here. I feel you fighting for yourself. Like the Chariot is the spiritual warrior. It's telling me that you have so much determination right now to break this chain, because you're tired of being imprisoned by your own thoughts and mind. And you are hopeful and open to healing energy. You are open. You are willing to face the responsibility of your own wellness, of your own experience, and you're looking for that self-union. You know everything I'm saying here. You know everything I'm saying here. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. So keep going, Scorpio, keep going. I feel a lot of potential here. I feel, even though there's a lot of harsh energy and strong cards, and I know my words have been very strong, I'm just channeling you now. I don't have any control over this. But I feel a lot of hope. Like, I really feel like you are on the cusp. You're on the threshold of a whole new way of being. Like, you've been putting in effort, actually. I feel like this is kind of like another final push here where you're going to actually tip over that point of no return, in a way. Like, this is sort of the final page of the final chapter of this person that you've been until now. And I feel like you're ready to break through. You're ready to break free of your own, like, imprisonment. Lovers and love together is so good. But really, it's all about the self-love. I know that sounds super cliche and, like, totally nothing. There's no, like, crazy psychic message here. It's all just really practical, common sense stuff, right? 4 of Cups, anger at the bottom of it. There's definitely a lot of emotion to release here. You know, there's a lot of pent-up emotion here for sure. There's a lot of feelings of, like, you having been wronged and people not doing the right thing by you, and you having been, like, maybe even abused or taken advantage of in different ways. But what really needs to happen here is a lot of release, forgiveness, letting go, expression of those emotions. Sure, if you have anger, it's not going to be that easy to go directly from that to forgiveness. But at some point, you need to realize that the anger you feel is only you punishing yourself for something that somebody else did. And that's not how life works. Time to let go. Time to enjoy. Time to, like, really celebrate in life and all the beauty, and really let yourself be deserving of all that. Because you are. So fundamentally, in short, self-love. But to get to that self-love, there needs to be an interruption or disruption of the inner dialogue that is constantly berating and criticizing and punishing and being hard on and, like, hating, self-loathing. All that shit has to end. You have to interrupt that inner dialogue and start to retrain your brain to think lovingly, to be nurturing, to be caring, and to give all yourself that energy. Not wait for someone else to give it to you. It has to come from you. keep fighting. You've got that Chariot card there in the upper. I'm super happy to see that, along with Star and Death here. Like, I really feel that you are super ready for this transformation. I feel like you're ready to like break down and break free and move on from a long old cycle of pain and heartbreak and sadness, and into what is your birthright, which is actually genuine happiness and wellness. That's here for you. You got to make that push. You got to have to make that effort to put that energy into the self-love, into disrupting the inner dialogue. It really does just come down to that. If I could, as I said, I could talk longer here about all kinds of stuff, but I'm not interested in what other people did to you. And you needn't be either. Just focus on you right now and how you can own and claim and be responsible for those things, because you can empower yourself to feel well. They can't. And you don't need to keep punishing yourself for any events that happened in the past where that might have happened. Scorpio, that's your reading. Just checking over here, but I feel that's it. It's all in your hands, babe. You can do it. I believe in you. Thank you so much for watching. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. I will see you in the next reading.